Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be going through my top 10 favorite lightsaber hilts. Lightsaber hilts were the basic all-covering part of a lightsaber, a combination hand grip, blade emitter, activator switch, and power source. It held within the inner workings of the weapon that allowed it to produce its distinctive energy-based blade. Let's get started with number 10, QuiGon Jinn's Saber. The lightsaber wielded by QuiGon Jin was a single-blade lightsaber wielded by the human Jedi, Master QuiGon Jin. QuiGon wielded this lightsaber until the Battle of Naboo, when he was mortally wounded by Darth Maul, the Sith Lord. After losing his own lightsaber, Qui-Gon's apprentice, ObiWan Kenobi, used the same one to defeat Maul. The weapon was later returned to the Jedi Temple after the battle. My favourite feature on QuiGon Jinn's lightsaber was its unique slick straight hilt. It's a very simple design and easy to hold a very steady grip. Number 9. Count Dooku and Asajj Ventress. Now I'm putting Dooku and Ventress on the same level here because their sabers were very much alike, and Ventress took inspiration from Dooku when creating her saber. Count Dooku, also known as Darth Tyrannus' lightsaber, was a personal unique curved hilt lightsaber. Darth Tyrannus, the political leader of the Separatist Alliance and a former Jedi Master, handcrafted the weapon's unique hilt with a cyber crystal that emitted a red blade. Dooku wielded the Sith blade as an apprentice of Darth Sidious, the Dark Lord of the Sith. Asajj Ventress used several lightsabers during her life. As a Padawan, she used a green-bladed lightsaber, switching to a pair of red-bladed lightsabers during her years as Count Dooku's apprentice. These Sith sabers had curved hilts similar to the one of her master's weapon. Count Dooku always had a curved hilt, even when he was on the Jedi Council. Number 8. The Skywalker Lightsaber. Anakin Skywalker's second lightsaber, Luke Skywalker's A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back saber, and Rey's. Once ObiWan Kenobi took Anakin's saber after their fight on Mustafar, he did tweak the saber just a bit. And when Rey got it, she added a new leather strap onto it. The Skywalker lightsaber, also known as Anakin, Luke's, and Rey's lightsaber at various points in times, was a blue-bladed Jedi lightsaber built by Anakin Skywalker, Jedi Knight and the Prophecy of the Force, the one who would bring balance, the chosen one of the Force.
It's too late. No. Obi-Wan. Promise me you will train the boy. Yes, Master. He is the chosen one. He will bring balance. Train him.
During the final years of the Republic, Anakin wielded his new lightsaber as a Jedi General of Grand Army of the Republic, leading clone troopers against the Separatist droid army on numerous battlefronts across the galaxy-wide conflict known as the Clone Wars.
I have to admit that without the clones it would not have been a victory.
Victory? Victory, you say? Master Obi-Wan, not victory. The shroud of the dark side has fallen. Begun. The Clone War has.
He battled everything from battle droids to force-sensitive combatants like Asajj Ventress, Savage Opress, Barriss Offee, and Count Dooku. The Skywalker lightsaber, despite being an instrument of the Jedi Order, was used to kill Jedi during the siege of the Jedi Temple during Order 66 and the Great Jedi Purge. Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker's dark side persona, slaughtered a group of Jedi younglings on Coruscant before travelling to Mustafar and executing the Separatist Council on behalf of his new Sith Master, the Galactic Emperor Darth Sidious. Vader lost his weapon after being defeated by Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, who kept the Skywalker lightsaber for nearly 2 decades during the Imperial era. Kenobi eventually gave the lightsaber to Anakin's son, Luke Skywalker, who used it while training as a Jedi apprentice and fighting for the Rebel Alliance. The saber was used to fight several individuals during several wars, including Pong Krell and Boba Fett, but it was later lost on Bespin when Luke confronted his father. The Skywalker lightsaber eventually fell into the possession of Maz Kanata, a friend of the Skywalker family who kept the Jedi weapon hidden in her castle during the New Republic era. Through the Force, the lightsaber called to a Force-sensitive scavenger from Jakku, Rey, who rejected it after receiving a painful Force vision from touching it. During the Battle of Takodana, Maz gave the lightsaber to Finn. After besting the rogue stormtrooper on Starkiller Base, Kylo Ren, the grandson of Darth Vader, tried to claim the weapon that once belonged to his grandfather. Instead, it was taken by Rey. Despite her earlier rejection of it, the scavenger took up the Skywalker lightsaber and engaged Ren in their first lightsaber duel. Following the Battle of Starkiller Base, Rey tracked Luke Skywalker to Angtu, but the Jedi Master refused to take his old saber back. It was later sheared in half by Ren and Rey, but the scavenger managed to repair the lightsaber. It remained in Rey's possession until her arrival on Exegol, where she abandoned it to a redeemed Ben Solo, placing the legendary blade back in the hands of a Skywalker, who used it to defeat the Knights of Ren. In the aftermath of the Battle of Exegol, Rey buried the famed lightsaber alongside Leia Organa's saber on Tatooine, the desert homeworld of Anakin Skywalker and Luke Skywalker. Number 7. Darth Vader's Saber. The lightsaber used by Darth Vader, a Sith Lord who was the final pupil of Darth Sidious and the military commander of the Galactic Empire, was his personal lightsaber. After losing his old saber in a fight on Capriya, he made this one. Later, the lightsaber was used to kill ObiWan Kenobi, Vader's former master as Anakin Skywalker, and amputate his son Luke Skywalker's right hand. Luke returned the favor by amputating Darth Vader's right hand during their fight on the second Death Star. The dual-phase operation of lightsabers allowed for manual control and adjustments of the blade length during combat. Two dual-phased focusing crystals, a high-output diatom power cell, a ground emitter shroud, a black power cell chamber, a hand grip with black ridges, and a standard power and length control knobs were all features of the weapon. To maximize the stability and power of this lightsaber, Darth Vader was continually modifying and improving it. Number 6. Yoda's lightsaber. Yoda had many different lightsabers, but they were all identical. He created lightsaber after lightsaber and had many, but they were all exactly identical. Yoda rarely, if ever, drew his lightsaber, preferring to work in more sensitive ways. But the Jedi Grandmaster remained a formidable warrior, as Count Dooku and Darth Sidious discovered when they confronted Yoda in battle. Yoda's lightsaber was smaller than a standard Jedi lightsaber, befitting his shorter stature. Yoda was the last Grand Master of the Jedi High Council. The green-bladed weapon had a shorter hilt and a shorter blade. What made Yoda's lightsaber unique was its scaled-down version. Aside from that, particularly, the weapon had a simple design consisting of studded chrome handle with black trim and an emitter wrap. It contained a cyber crystal that put forth a bright green plasma blade. Number 5. Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren's lightsaber was a cross-guard lightsaber wielded by Kylo Ren, Supreme Leader of the First Order and Master of the Knights of Ren. The lightsaber was previously Ben Solo's lightsaber, constructed by Ren in his life as Ben Solo while training as a Jedi Padawan under his uncle, the Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. Originally, the weapon had a blue blade, but after his destruction of the Jedi Temple and fall to the dark side in 28 ABY, Ren modified it into one with a red blade. The modified lightsaber incorporated a cross-guard hilt based on ancient designs dating back to the Great Torment of Malachor and contained a cracked cyber crystal, requiring it to have horizontal vents on either side of the handle in order to avert the extra heat generated by the crystal. During the Cold War, Ren used his lightsaber to strike down Lor San Tekka, a member of the Church of the Force. When his father Han Solo bespeeched him to leave the First Order, Ren ignited the crossguard lightsaber through Solo's torso in an act of homicide. He later dueled the former stormtrooper known as Finn and the Force-sensitive scavenger Rey, though he lost to the latter. After recovering from his defeat on Starkiller Base, Ren assassinated his dark side master, Supreme Leader Snoke, and fought alongside Rey against the elite Praetorian Guard. He killed several guards using his crossguard lightsaber before taking control of the First Order as Snoke's successor. On Crate, he was confronted by his uncle and former mentor Jedi Master Luke Skywalker and attempted to strike him down in battle. However, Ren's lightsaber was ineffective against his opponent as Skywalker had only projected his appearance on Crate, whereas his physical form was still on Acto. The next year, Kylo Ren continued to use his lightsaber until he faced Rey on the remains of the second Death Star on the ocean moon of Kef-Bir. Following the confrontation, Ren saw a vision of his late father, who showed his son that he loved him. Ren ultimately cast his Sith lightsaber into the ocean. In doing so, became Ben Solo once more. Number 4. ObiWan Kenobi's lightsaber from Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. Again, Obi-Wan did do some tweaks to his lightsaber between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. The lightsaber design branched out from his former 2 lightsabers, both being designed after his master QuiGon Jinn's lightsaber, showing his growth as an independent Jedi, especially after his promotion to the Jedi Council. After he lost his second lightsaber prior to the first Battle of Geonosis, Jedi Master ObiWan Kenobi, who was prompted to the title Jedi Master as well, as I just said, built a new lightsaber for himself during the ensuing Clone Wars between the Galactic Republic and Confederacy of Independent Systems. Serving as the Jedi General of the 212th Attack Platoon, Kenobi used the lightsaber throughout his service against Confederacy military, even dueling the likes of Count Dooku, Commander Asajj Ventress, General Grievous, and other powerful foes, including the former Sith Maul, when he re-emerged onto the galactic scene. During his final duel with Grievous, Kenobi lost the lightsaber, but eventually reclaimed it when it was given back to him by Clone Commander CC-2224, Cody. He would also use his lightsaber to duel his fallen apprentice, Darth Vader, on Mustafar, and he would continue to wield the weapon during his exile on the planet Tatooine. Kenobi buried his lightsaber, along with Skywalker's lightsaber, in a chest out in the desert to avoid using it. However, when Senator Bail Organa begged him to leave Tatooine to save his daughter, Leia Organa, Kenobi uncovered the chest and wielded it during the mission to Daiyu, as well as on Mapuzo, where he confronted his former apprentice after he recently learned Skywalker wasn't dead and that he, in fact, survived the injuries Obi-Wan inflicted on Mustafar. Kenobi would see what his apprentice had become and would finally ignite his lightsaber once more to defend himself. Skywalker, now fully turned into Darth Vader, wouldn't hold back and attacked Kenobi with powerful lightsaber strikes, using his strength to overwhelm Kenobi, who hadn't fought saber-to-saber combat since the events of their last duel and was out of practice. Vader grabbed Kenobi in a forced choke, disarming him and lighting the flammable ground on fire, throwing Kenobi onto the ground, causing Kenobi to start to be burned alive. Vader wanting Kenobi to experience the similar torment he had felt on the ground of Mustafar. Tala, a member of the Hidden Path, distracted Vader and his stormtroopers with an ambush long enough for the loader droid, Ned B, to pick up the injured Kenobi off the ground and escape under the cover of the flames, recovering Kenobi's lightsaber in the process. After again using the lightsaber to rescue Organa once more and fend off the attack on Jabim, Kenobi used his lightsaber in a second rematch with Vader, which Kenobi won on a barren moon. After his return to Tatooine, Kenobi used the lightsaber against the Wookiee bounty hunter Chrysanthemum. Kenobi continued to use the blade up until his death at the hands of Vader during their rematch on the Death Star. The most noticeable time he used his lightsaber in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope was against Maul, as we see in Star Wars Rebels, when he finally killed him for good. And Maul kinda came back into the good side, but that's a video for another time. Kenobi's second apprentice, Luke Skywalker, later used the weapon's design as a basis for the construction of his own lightsaber. Number 3. Mace Windu. Mace Windu's lightsaber was a Jedi lightsaber constructed by Jedi Master Mace Windu, following his appointment as a Jedi member of the High Jedi Council, one of the most distinctive lightsabers in the Jedi Order due to its amethyst plasma blade. Windu would carry this weapon into battle on multiple occasions during the Clone Wars, in which he served as a Jedi General in the Grand Army of the Republic. The lightsaber was ultimately lost when it fell out of a window during a confrontation between Windu and the Sith Lord Darth Sidious, who then killed the Jedi Order's champion through the use of Force Lightning. As one of the most notable members of the Jedi Order, Jedi Master Mace Windu carried a Jedi lightsaber distinguished by its unique amethyst plasma blade. Its distinctive color served as a warning to enemies that the Jedi Order's greatest champion was ready to fight. Serving as his final lightsaber, Windu constructed it in his youth after many years of experience and used his high standards to make a superior weapon. In addition to specially designed hand grip, the lightsaber Electrum finished indicated Windu's status as a senior member of the Jedi High Council. Number 2. Darth Maul. Darth Maul's double-bladed lightsaber, also known as Maul's Saber Staff, was the first personal double-bladed lightsaber of Darth Maul, a Sith Lord who took part in the invasion of Naboo and the Clone Wars. The Sith lightsaber was cut in half by ObiWan Kenobi during their duel on Naboo, and Maul continued to use the remaining half in battle until he temporarily lost it in his duel with his former master on Mandalore. He recovered the half after being freed from prison and reformed it into a double-bladed hilt, but lost it for good after a duel with Ahsoka Tano, subsequently replacing it with another double-bladed lightsaber that he would use until his final death against Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars Rebels. The Saber Staff consisted of 2 lightsabers fused together so the blades extended into a single line. Each blade could be ignited separately with blade modulation controls depending on the situation and the opponent being faced. Its design was based on ancient plans found deep within a Sith holocron owned by Darth Sidious. After learning to use a double-bladed lightsaber, Sith apprentice Maul built his own based on a design found in Darth Sidious' holocron. Darth Maul used his lightsaber when he dueled Qui-Gon Jinn on Tatooine, when the Sith revealed themselves for the first time in centuries. During the Battle of Naboo, Maul used his lightsaber against Qui-Gon Jinn and his apprentice Obi-Wan Kenobi. Maul was able to defeat Qui-Gon Jinn by striking him in the face with the hilt of the weapon before stabbing the stunned Jedi Master through the stomach, mortally wounding him. Kenobi then attacked Maul in a rage and managed to land a hit on his lightsaber hilt, besiding the weapon and leaving Maul with only one functional half of it. Despite this, Maul was able to push Kenobi and kick his lightsaber into a pit and used his lightsaber to shower sparks at the young Jedi and force him to let go. When Maul lowered his guard, Kenobi saw the chance and jumped towards him. Using Jin's lightsaber, Kenobi similarly killed Maul by cutting him in half. Maul and his lightsaber fell down the shaft, presumed dead and lost. In truth, Maul survived and was found by his brother, Savage Opress. Opress recovered the lightsaber and returned Maul to Dathomir to be healed by their mother, Talzin. Maul's lightsaber was given back to him by his brother, and he used it in his quest for revenge against Kenobi. Number 1. My favorite lightsaber and lightsaber hilt. Luke Skywalker's green saber from Return of the Jedi. This was Luke's first lightsaber he constructed and the second one he owned. This weapon's design was based on schematics Luke found in his mentor's hut on Tatooine. While the final product remained largely faithful to these designs, Luke simplified the weapon considerably. As this was his first attempt at constructing a lightsaber, Luke was able to gather most of the parts he required to build his weapon from various vendors in the city of Mos Eisley, including a high-energy reflector cup power cells and a focusing lens. However, Luke was unable to obtain this one vital component that would bring the whole project together, the lightsaber crystal itself. In the years following the Galactic Empire's establishment in 19 BBY, great efforts were taken to expunge the last remaining resources of fallen Jedi Order from the galaxy. One of these measures was the banning of all crystals capable of being used in construction of lightsabers and shutting down the sites that possessed these crystals. Possessing lightsabers was also outlawed with the exception of Palpatine himself, Darth Vader and the Emperor's Shadow Guards, and the Emperor's Hand, of course. Others who possessed lightsabers collected them as a trophy from fallen Jedi. Due to this, Luke was forced to fabricate his own green Sith Mist lightsaber crystal, utilizing a small blast furnace and a book of instructions found within the home of his late master Ben Kenobi on Tatooine. For many days, Luke labored over the component, checking and then rechecking the instructions many times, taking no shortcuts. Over a month after he first began, the weapon still was not complete. He then cut and shaved the unredefined crystal he had created in a proper multi-faceted lightsaber duel. He likewise based it on the design of Ben Kenobi's lightsaber in memory of his master. When Luke Skywalker first ignited the weapon, it functioned perfectly. The green blade emitted no heat, signifying that the internal subcontinent were working properly, and it sheared through a wrist-thick rock spire with no difficulty. Luke also noted that the weapon possessed superior balance to Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. Possibly because of utilizing a Cygnus crystal, the lightsaber made a distinctive snap-hiss sound when activated, which was a different sound to that emitted by his father's weapon. Thank you guys for watching this video, my top 10 lightsabers and the history behind them. I hope you all enjoyed. Please comment what video you would like to see next. Someone recommended I do this video, so I did it. Whatever you guys want, you will receive. Thanks everyone, and may the Force be with you always.